Imagine this. You leave your car in perfect working condition on a deserted mountain road. You leave behind your warm clothes, even though the temperature is freezing. You walk into the pitch black, right into the heart of a blizzard, and you are never seen. Alive again? This sounds like the opening of a Hollywood thriller, right? But on a cold February night in 1978, this actually happened. 5 young men simply vanished into thin air, leaving behind a case that the FBI still cannot close. To this very day, why did they leave a safe vehicle? Why did they ignore life-saving food while starving to death? Today, we are diving into the chilling mystery of the Yuba City Five, often called the American Dyatlov Pass. Let's look at the facts and see if we can solve the puzzle that has haunted California for nearly 50 years. To understand the tragedy, we must understand the men. They were known in their community as the boys. Jack Madruga, 30, was the driver. He was a veteran, a man who took immense pride in his 1969 Mercury Montego. He never let anyone else touch the wheel. Bill Sterling, 29, was Jack's best friend, a deeply religious man who spent his free time helping others. Jack Huett, 24, was the youngest. He was shy and relied heavily on his friends. Ted Weiher, 32, was a friendly giant with a heart of gold. And then there was Gary Mathias, 25. Gary was a veteran with a complicated past. He struggled with schizophrenia, but he was doing well on his medication and was looking forward to the future. On February 24th, 1978, the group was buzzing with excitement. They drove from Yuba City to Chico to watch their favorite basketball team play. They were supposed to play in their own tournament the very next day. They even had their uniforms laid out at home. After the game, they stopped at Bear's Market. They bought a chocolate bar, some soda, and a pack of gum. Just simple snacks for a 2-hour drive home. They got back into the Mercury Montego and drove into the night, but they didn't go south toward home. For some unknown reason, Jack Madruga turned the car north, straight into the high, snow-choked peaks of the Sierra Nevada. That same night, another man was on that same treacherous mountain road, Joseph Schoens. Joseph had driven up to check on his cabin when his car got stuck in the snow. While trying to push it, he suffered a mild heart attack. He sat in his car, engine running, heater on, hoping to survive the night. Around midnight, he saw headlights. He looked out and saw the Mercury Montego Park right behind him. He saw a group of men and what he thought was a woman with a baby in the distance. He screamed for help. He cried out that he was having a heart attack and needed a doctor. But the figures didn't move. They stood there, silhouettes in the snow, watching him. Then, the lights went out. Later that night, Joseph saw flashlights moving through the woods. He screamed again, but the lights simply vanished into the trees. Joseph eventually ran out of gas and had to walk 8 miles down the mountain to survive. He was the last person to see the boys alive. But what he saw raised more questions than answers. 5 days later, police found the Mercury Montego. It was 70 miles away from their intended route, high up a remote logging road. The car was a mystery. It wasn't stuck. The tires hadn't spun in the snow. There was plenty of gas in the tank. The keys were gone, but the car could have been started easily. Even more confusing, Jack Madruga loved this car. He was terrified of getting it dirty or damaged. Yet he had driven it miles into a mountain wilderness and then just walked away. Police searched the area, but a massive blizzard hit the mountains. 5 feet of snow covered the trails. The search was called off. The families of the 5 men were left in a nightmare of silence for 4 long months. In June, when the snow finally melted, a group of motorcyclists found a Forest Service trailer 19 miles away from where the car had been abandoned. Inside, they found a scene of pure horror. On a bed lay the body of Ted Weiher. He was wrapped in 8 thick sheets. He had been dead for a long time, but the details were impossible to explain. Ted had lost nearly 100 pounds. He had survived in that trailer for at least 8 to 11 weeks, slowly starving and freezing. But here's the paradox. The trailer was filled with food. There were dozens of military C-ration cans, enough to feed all 5 men for an entire year. Only a few were opened. There were matches and wood, but no fire was ever lit. Ted sat in the dark, starving to death, with a mountain of food and fuel just inches away from his hands. Outside, the remains of Madruga and Sterling were found. They had died much earlier from the cold. Jack Huett's remains were found later, identified only by his shoes. But what about Gary Mathias? He was gone. His shoes were found inside the trailer, which means he was there with Ted. He had used Ted's shoes because his own feet were frostbitten. But Gary himself vanished into the vast forest. He has never been found, dead or alive. So, what really happened on that mountain? Theory 1. Gary Mathias had a psychotic break. Without his medication, he might have become paranoid and led the group deeper into the woods, thinking they were being chased. But would the others follow him into certain death? Theory 2. They were truly being followed. Did they witness something they shouldn't have? Did someone chase them up that mountain road? This would explain why they were too terrified to turn on the lights or light a fire in the trailer, even while they were dying of cold. Theory 3. The groupthink effect. Some believe they simply got lost, and because of their conditions, became so overwhelmed by fear that they were unable to make logical decisions to save their own lives. Nearly 50 years later, we have more questions than answers. What did Joseph Shones really see? Where is Gary Mathias? And why did they leave a perfectly good car to walk into a blizzard? The Sierra Nevada mountains still hold their secrets. If you have a theory, leave a comment below. We read every single one. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most mysterious cold cases. Good night and stay safe in the dark.